that was the Mega Man playthrough of X6. We still got the Zero playthrough to go through.
But at least we'll make that a little easier on ourselves.
Akajaru?
Not.
I think I am.
We won't be tapping for every single Reploid. We'll try to get them all, I guess.
I think he was like, oh shit, my name's gonna be on this?
That's no fun. But yep, we got another playthrough to go, but we're gonna make it a little easier on ourselves.
So I guess final thoughts for the X playthrough? Question mark?
Go ahead, Koshy.
Okay, so
Imagine it's still a little better than last time, at the very least.
Yeah, so this is so weird to me because after playing through this game, now having obtained the blade armor and the shadow armor, I can definitely say that it's a lot more fun than I gave it initially thought it was. But for a first time just going through that game, it's just absolutely crazy the amount of spikes and difficulty from all over the damn place. With some of the stages and their designs, and I honestly think like most of the designs in the stages they still need a little bit of tweaking, but for the most part they're fine. But the moment you put in the nightmare virus and the gimmick and saving all the Reploids, it goes from being an okay game to goddamn it, I want to die.
Mm-hmm.
This may not have shown that, but trust me when I say, when you don't know what's going to come, it's just when you start feeling those impacts of just what happened, and it's just absolutely miserable. But playing through this game as X, I do have more of an appreciation for it because it's basically the same system as X4 and X5. The gameplay is still the same, so as a result, it's still the same fun gameplay as it was in X4 and X5. They still functionally play well, and it's still a joy to play as them because you can do all the stuff that you were able to do in the previous games, with addition to more. The new armors that they introduced in this game are pretty damn good, I gotta say. The blade armor is exceptional in this game. The fact that you can multi-dash in any direction that you want, the fact that you can hold it in and charge at the time yourself or save yourself in case you fuck up.
And it does damage.
Yeah, it does damage. And you're on
iframes
too, so a very cool armor, shadow armor, a really cool upgrade from the Gaia armor, big time. Despite the only thing that you can do is the sword and this saber and the buster, but
you do have a little buster shot too.
Yeah, but still pretty good. The weapons are decently well implemented.
Holy crap, public relation.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Anyways, the weapons are overall fine, but it's just...
By the way, that image is from the scene we did not get.
Yeah.
The third way to get to the gate stage is getting 3,000 Nightmare Souls with X or Zero.
But with X, I gotta say, like, the game, now playing it again, it's a little bit more tolerable. There are still a couple of BS moments.
Mm-hmm.
Gates Fortress as an entirety is one whole segment I could rant on.
The stage layout of the first two and the boss at the end of the second stage.
They're fucking atrocious beyond all belief. And it's just the roller coaster difficulty and spikes are just all over the place that it can be very hard to say this as a overall good game or just justify it as saying, oh, this was meant to be hard, because the spikes and difficulty can go from two ends, either extremely difficult or piss easy. And as a result, it's hard for me to really justify that game very much. They're also playing this game. If I was playing this between 5 and 6, I'd still rather play this than 5. But my overall judgment will say that
5 is better.
Fundamentally, 5 is better as a game.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
While 6 is a bad game,
God,
I can still go back. I can still
I didn't do anything.
I didn't do a goddamn thing.
Yes.
But I can at least say that with full certainty that X6 has some good moments. It can be fun if you know what you're doing. But my overall opinion of this game is that Mega Man X6 is a bad game. It's flawed. It has so many good things going for it, and when it's good, it's good. But there are so many things that need to be tweaked so much, and as a result, it builds into frustration. And for people that don't play Mega Man X to the level that I do, and even then, you felt the fire that was going through me when I was playing through this game, when I was losing the Reploids and losing my shit against Gate. Like, there is a
Yep.
lot of frustration that comes through all this, and it's just a combination of either designers making an incredibly difficult game, or just the fact that they didn't optimize the difficulty at all. Because there are other things that I can get into, but I'll save that for when I get to the Zero playthrough.
Yeah.
But overall, as a package, there's so much promise that this game, you can see that it wants to do, but as a result of it being rushed, there's definitely a lot of untapped potential, and as a result, it leads to a very frustrating game. And I was hinting at talking about this earlier, but this is a textbook definition of a game that you can see that shows how it's easy to make a difficult game, but how difficult it is to make a difficult game that is a satisfying and fair challenge. Those are my overall thoughts. X6 so far is the worst game in this series, although there's a part of me that still would rather play this over X5, as weird as that says. But I will fundamentally say with a straight face, X6 so far
It's
is
more fun, but worse.
Yeah. But X6 fundamentally is the worst Mega Man X game that I played. And on top of that, maybe even the worst Mega Man game that I played so far. And that's saying something, because I played a lot of Mega Man. I played Battle Network, I played Star Force, I played Classic, I played Zero, I played ZX, I played all the X games and some Legends. This is the first game that I can say with a straight face that it's bad.
It does have the deepest bottoms, the X series in particular. It does have the deepest bottoms compared to all the others. The others just have decent at worst.
But
this one has two stinkers.
Yes. And while I can at least somewhat defend this game,
the next one's
going to be much worse to defend at all. Because this game, like I said, I think it was definitely the worst of the X series I've played so far, but there is definitely a lot of good to come out of it. But like I said, this is a textbook game that shows it's easy to make something difficult, but it's not but it's hard to make a game that is satisfyingly difficult.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to wonder if that's something that you can really be proud of.
Alright.
Alright, go ahead, Coda. You go next.
Well, I mean, in terms of the positives, a lot of mine are the same as yours, like almost note for note. I will admit, I was a lot harsher on this. Oh, by the way, here are the codes for the armors.
Yeah, we have them.
This switch, by the way.
So look at these codes. This is how you get, and these are your secrets. Yep. Secret A is for X, secret B is for 0, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways.
And you only do one.
But yeah, and I will admit, looking back at remembering as to my first experience, I will admit I was a lot harsher with this game than what we've gone through, because a lot of the unique ideas I grow to appreciate a little more. Execution-wise, however, I still think it's bad.
Yes.
Like,
that is something I also have to admit as well, that I should probably mention as well, if it's okay for me.
Yeah, go.
But it's just that people usually judge the game the harshest by their first playthrough. That's the thing that most of these games have to take, something you have to take into account. While many people can say and defend X6, here's the thing. I still remember my first time suffering through this game. I remember the frustration that came afterwards. There was a lot of frustration that came into that, and that's why it infuriated me even to a higher degree than now. Because now I can say I do like this game, but like I said, there's still a reason why I put it. I hold to my opinion, but your first playthrough will be a testament to show this is a Mega Man X's fan game, but this is also a kind of game that I would call a god game, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I can see that.
But
where essentially, to be good at, you basically have to have the reflexes of a god.
And know what's coming.
Exactly.
And like I said, the first playthrough will determine everything.
Essentially.
And basically be the primary judge of how you think of the game overall. Even if there is something good or something bad, because of how much frustration that piles on, it's easy to forget what good the game does.
Yeah. And
it's frustrating.
And to add to that, like, that's the main thing, is that a lot of people remember more about the bad elements of anything that's considered bad than whatever was good with it.
Because they always keep because the frustration piles on faster than the good will
it's not just with games, with movies as well, TV shows, anything in media that's considered bad, only the bad elements of said things are highlighted the most.
Because it's easy to point out something bad and make fun of it or ridicule it than it is to praise something for its good qualities.
That's true.
it's much. Trust me, I am a prime example of that. I hate everyone equally except myself. I hate myself the most. I promise you. That isn't that statement holds. That statement has many reasons to it.
Right.
All right.
But
And I
the
guess
reason
we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
but I hate everyone equally is actually a twin joke. I hate myself the most is actually a literal thing where it's like it's so easy for me to poke bad at myself because
Right.
but the reason I do that is because I just want to see things done better,
Yeah.
Of course.
and that's just
Strive for improvement. Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
because there's
with
like I
that-
said, there's so much promise in this
Yeah.
game.
With that said, a lot of things about this game just did not mesh well. Like the nightmare gimmick, while I see what they were trying to do with replicating X1, like I said, it just was not handled well. Especially with the in-game explanation.
It was poorly executed in so many different ways. It wasn't even funny.
No, it was not. But with all that said, it's just a lot of it. It feels like this was like everything bad that you could possibly do with a Mega Man X game in one game. Like prior to this, like
And-
difficult level design for bullshit reasons, spikes aplenty, bosses, some of them being invincible until you get certain weaponry.
Or invincible entirely.
Or
Yeah.
yes, that is also true.
Infinity Machinian.
Bosses that can heal.
Infinity Machinian.
Well, at least we know how that works, but still, it is bullshit.
Yeah.
And not to mention that missable, permanently missable upgrades.
Yeah, that's something I also forgot to mention. How you need a specific upgrade. You need specific upgrades to be able to get through some of the stages.
That's
That's
bad.
more so with the Gate Fortress. You should be able, and that's also another problem I have with that game. You should be able to beat any of the 8 stages as base X. You should be able to beat any stage as base X.
Without parts.
Without parts. You
Right.
can make it as hard as you want, and that's absolutely fine. You can make it as precise as you want. That's absolutely fine. But the moment you make it to the point where you need parts, you have fundamentally failed, in my opinion. That's a fundamental failure in a different light. That's a failure that is, if you cannot beat it in your base form, then, and you require extra materials to be able to do this, then you have fundamentally failed.
Yes.
In a different light.
As early as the first gate stage. Like, if you don't have any sort of part, you can't go past that first spike wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like I said, X5 was also a,
Like, there's a reason why Spike Wallman is a joke. No one seriously wants that in a Mega Man game.
yeah. Cause, alright, and then...
And this gave us essentially that.
Yeah, because X6 is a fundamental failure in this regard. X5 was a fundamental failure in the sense that if you had to keep telling your player that you, every single time, just cutting them off in the middle of their fucking gameplay, just to tell them how to fucking play your game, then you have fundamentally failed that regard. But that's
The
X5's failure.
overtutorialization, yeah,
But that was
overtutorialization
X5.
is one, yeah.
Yeah, but that's X5's failure. Fundamental failure in the game. That over-tutorialization. This,
It's
fundamental
the
failure
opposite direction.
is not opposite direction, but more so the requirements that you cannot beat the game as your base form. You should be able to beat the game as your base form.
Yeah.
Because the thing with upgrades in this game is that they're usually optional. They're there to help you enhance your form, and then you can make you feel stronger. It's like you don't. But the idea
But
that
likely with the first time playthrough, you wouldn't know that.
yeah, and the base base forms, they're there. They should be there as a sense of challenge. Because I've seen people do base X. I've seen people do it before in the earlier games. I've seen them do it in Mega Man X1. And it's just something that I feel. It's just something that I have to. That you should be able. You should never like. And X. And also with the Maverick Hunters. These stages as well. Some of these stages are just absolute trash. Blaze Heatnix.
Metal Shark.
Mel Shark Player. Mel Shark Player, I feel like, has the benefit of being a decent idea. Its execution was a little bit poor because the level design is a little bit stricter.
Like I said earlier, for story reasons, there was a missed opportunity with him.
Story is a little bit flawed as well.
Yeah.
And part of it is because of translation.
Yeah, localization.
Localization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows what it was like in the Japanese version? Maybe it was much better, but I will never know for sure because none of us can read Japanese.
Or speak it, rather.
Yeah.
Other than zero inconsistencies, I don't think it was actually that much different. I don't
But,
think.
yeah, I guess I'm hopefully can get myself done interjecting as my extra opinions because it's just kind
Right.
of, there's
Yeah.
just so much to talk about this game.
There
This
is a
very,
lot of
This game is a
like you said before. I have no problem calling this a bad Mega Man game.
yeah.
Not just bad Mega Man X game, bad Mega Man game.
Like I said, this is the worst Mega Man game in my opinion that I played, and of all the Mega Man games I played up to this point, this is the worst, and I will hold true to my opinion.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Like,
despite me wanting to play this game more than X5, I will still hold true to all my opinions. I said that this is the worst Mega Man game that I played so far.
Definitely. Alright, MJ?
Oh boy. I feel like I'm gonna be fucking glared. And, well, kind of been through the whole series. Oh god. Well, it was definitely an interesting turn, and well, they had some interesting ideas that ended up being definitely strange, but the difficulty spike helped it be more fun than X5 in a way. Although, yes, there was some bullshit about it, with some of the awful level design choices, especially some you needed parts just to get to certain parts of stages. There's one you need a part, or else you can't get through it all!
Yeah.
Unless maybe Ultimate Armor, but why would you know that your first time through?
Yeah.
It's the first time, it definitely feels really hard to go through. Like, I think I spent like 12 hours going through this my first time, which is huge!
Yoshi only went through it in a little over 4 hours.
And this was getting
14
100%, mind
This
you.
was getting 100%.
Knowing what we were doing.
Also, knowing what we were doing, not to mention about a good, what was it, like 30, 40 minutes of that, was just on the gate fight.
Yeah.
Just on the gate fight.
We've already discussed Gates Fortress in its entirety, except for stage 3 in the end, ironically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the best part of that
Fortress.
Fortress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well,
Only because at that point they just kind of threw in the towel, like, okay, you already handled all the bullshit parts. We'll just give you a bone on this one.
yeah, I can definitely see a lot of the better ideas they're coming up with. The Blade Armor is arguably one of the X's best armors in the entire series.
Yeah.
And while it definitely, the game definitely feels like they try to design it around you using that. Although, yes, you shouldn't need to be able to rely on that. Also, it makes it easier, it shouldn't be the only way you should do it.
That's the thing. It's because there's so many optional things that require things that you need in other stages, so you're going to be backtracking all over the goddamn place, and it can get very grating.
Yep.
And it hurts even more because it's
Yeah,
just
it's
kind
okay.
of...
The only thing I can admire this game for me, is, well, I personally, despite the bad game design choice, put it above X5 because I find more excitement in this, and well, X5 doesn't really test my skills or anything. I just feel like I walk through it. This game feels like I'm actually, like, testing my reflexes and trying to, like, learn from my mistakes.
Like,
Even though some of it is definitely absolute bullshit, like Gate.
like I said...
Otherwise, the patience definitely pays off, and it can feel like a better experience in the end. But it still is pretty painful going through otherwise.
Yeah.
Because until you actually get adjusted to it, it's definitely one that's hard to recommend, and one that...
Unless you're a hardcore Mega Man fan...
Yeah.
I would probably avoid this game like the plague.
Yeah. You can honestly just skip to 8 from 5 if you really felt like it, because, well...
Yeah. But...
This game definitely...
are morbidly
Some
curious
people-
and you like this kind of challenge like this, because I will say I am also kind of the person that loves challenges like this.
It just a
I mean,
little
I don't
too
mind
much.
challenges if they're fair.
Yeah. And honestly, I will stand by my opinion and say that SNES Mega Man and Base, while many people may call it unfair, I still personally think it's fair. I still will defend that.
Just the one stage can be a little overbearing.
King 2 is the only unbearing part I will say. I will not defend that. But everything else around it, I think is perfectly fine.
This one is
But
hard
here-
to defend.
This one's
much harder to defend because of just how the level design works out and how you need certain parts just to be able to get certain upgrades, and the fact that the difficulty spike, like it, because you will say it's like it's made for the hardcore crowd. But there's a problem though when the difficulty spikes from incredibly hellish to piss easy that you can just walk right through. I can't honestly hold that opinion true.
Yeah.
Like I said, I will, it's, because like I said, this is still the worst Mega Man game I've played, but I will wholeheartedly say I would rather play this than X5, as weird as that sounds. Does that make any sense to
I can
any-
make some sense of it, yes.
Yeah, because
There
I
is.
think this game is fun. This game feels more fun than X5 is because X5 just feels like
it's boring.
It's so easy, but it's also pace breaking at every single point.
That's something harkens back to something Coda said in another game before. I don't remember which one. He said sometimes he'd rather play a bad game than a boring game. This is somewhat of an example, although, like I did say, the extremes, it depends.
It's like, I feel a boring game that's just functional is sometimes, I feel, can just be worse, because a game's supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And X5 doesn't always hit that note. This,
and it's
you have to dig through the bullshit to find it, but
when you find it, it feels really damn good. When you, like...
And then when you don't find it, you're fucking screaming.
But I feel there's a limit to how bad of a game could be for me to actually recommend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even then, that's not an accolade for the game itself. That's just me just being a stubborn prick.
Yeah. All of us are different after
Most
all.
people are, yeah.
So, I guess now with me finishing X6, I can finally say that...
For X's playthrough.
You know, for X playthrough especially now. Because I said that I'm the guy that likes Mega Man and bass, and I can wholeheartedly defend that. I will say, though, while I still think that Mega Man X6 is the worst Mega Man game that I've played so far, I can still find myself playing this game and considering it fun. It's weird. It's a weird dissonance that I have with this game.
Yeah. Well, you're a hardcore fan, like you said. The hardcore ones are the ones that could truly, I guess, get some respect. Yeah. Which you can for its other values, yeah.
Yeah. But, like I said, unless you're a super hardcore fan, I would not recommend going to this game.
No.
Especially blind. If you're going to try this game, have a guide on hand.
Yeah.
You'll have the best time when you have a guide on hand because you'll know
Definitely.
what you're doing. Because when you don't know what you're doing and you're going in gun-ho blind, it's going to be a miserable time, and that's going to scar you.
Yep, that's why my first playthrough took so long. I went without a guide.
Yeah, and that's what Coda and my opinion is.
Where
we're
I went for the hell when no guide existed.
Yep.
Yeah, we were both skewed in our opinions because the frustration was too much to bear.
Yeah, like I said before, this game cheats, and I had no problem cheating back by using these armor codes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those alternate armors that would make the game a lot better, particularly for Zero. Because it actually gives him defense!
Yeah.
Because he takes as much damage as base X normally, and because you can't upgrade without the code!
This is a very complicated game, and I can almost write a goddamn
Yeah.
thesis on it. I could almost make a 1 hour
So
video.
there's a lot of
I was kind of want to make a review dedicated to this game, but
there's
that'll
a
be
lot
later
of
down the
broken
road.
pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like there's a clear picture here, but there's so many shattered pieces that it fucking just...
It like you can't even make out what the picture was supposed to be initially.
Yeah.
You can make out some of the pieces that were,
Yeah.
and then there are other pieces when you put it together, it just feels like there's something missing.
Yeah, and you just never will get those pieces back.
And it's a shame. But yeah, Mega Man X6 is the worst Mega Man game I played so far. I probably said that enough, but I need to end this at some point. But Mega Man X6 is the worst game I played so far. But
We saw the other half.
there's still one more thing I have to do. We finished the Mega Man X playthrough. Now, next time we come back, we will do the Zero playthrough.
But we also have one last thing with X that we can show off.
Oh yeah, the ultimate armor. And we can also turn on Rookie Hunter mode.
Yeah, we can do it now.
Just hit minus, you can just turn it on.
So let's show it off.
So here's something that you can do for fun. Now it's left, 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 right on game start.
Game start.
Go on game start and then hit left 3 times, then right.
I think directions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, left, 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 right. That indicates you got it. So I think they give it to you from the first stage. In fact, I'm pretty sure I remember.
They should.
It. But yep,
They should.
if you know the ultimate armor from X5, that is basically this. Well, if you're really having a tough time, enter that code. This will be a lot better. The design's different though.
Yeah.
But yep, basically the same things. Use a Giga attack infinitely. You got that freaking.
The Nova Strike.
Yep.
My ult is ready.
Bam.
And while you take a lot less. Notice you start off with 9 lives. You take much less damage. I think you damage things twice as much too.
So,
And well, the only other thing left to show off is what
if you
happens.
have Legacy Collection 2, I would recommend going into Rookie Hunter mode.
Yeah.
I will not look down on you for it.
There is also the easy
No one
difficulty
should.
setting.
Because this game can get pretty vicious.
There is also the easy difficulty setting if you don't want to.
Yeah.
There is at least that, which The level design problems are still there, but the enemies can be made easier, so maybe some of the frustration can be subsided.
There's one particular, if you remember the Infinity Maginian robot, that disappears.
Ah, it doesn't multiply.
No. You know what?
Oh, the Illuminati.
You know that BS, you know that BS soul that stands on top of that second, Reploid?
He's not there?
He's not there anymore.
Yeah,
he's gone.
Easy definitely feels like a much more tame way. So, no, you want to fall down a pit right now. So,
That's
in
where
Rookie
fall
Hunter
down
mode, you fall down a pit.
You immediately come back.
Wait, what?
Yep.
So Rookie Hunter mode, if you really hate the game design choices, that you can do that to help you.
I wish there were spikes here so I can show that off as well.
Although, that does make me wonder.
What's up?
If you do that Rookie Hunter mode thing when you get to the one room in El Shark player, and you can't die because you can't fall down the pit,
You're in a dead game.
I guess you probably have to turn Rookie Hunter mode off.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is probably my biggest complaint.
Yeah, I don't think you instantly die this place in Rookie Hunter mode.
That is probably my biggest
You
complaint in the game. Like,
Okay.
there's the bullshit of you needing parts to get through levels. I can deal with that. But the fact that there are parts of the game where if you come into the wrong thing, you're forced to die in order to basically...
Leave.
Yeah. That
Is
is bad. Because you should not have to be punished and kill yourself in order to actually be able to go back to fixing a mistake you made. That's a waste of time, and it's a lot more extra frustration that's not needed.
I wish I could show off the gate fight, but I think I might need to do that with Zero because I don't feel like playing through this game all the way to the gate.
Well, we can get to the gate fight with Zero. You just put on Rookie Hunter mode and say fuck it.
Yeah, when we get to that,
I would say it's worse with Zero. It is worse.
And I'm putting Rookie Hunter mode on for Zero when we get to that fight. I'm not sure if I want to show off for the rest of the game.
No,
just
not for the rest of the game. I mean,
I'm trying to think. Do I really?
the only major adjustment is with gate stage. That's the biggest adjustment.
And the biggest fair spike, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But otherwise,
Although it's something I have to wonder about the Axe Legacy fight. I get they wanted to stick true to the original games, but you know, that kind of feels like the things like they could have enhanced the game.
look at how much damage I am taking.
Yep, like
Yeah, you also take less damage in Rookie Hunter mode as well.
Yeah, he mentioned that.
yep.
But
you take,
yeah, there
like
you go.
half damage and you do double damage.
And it's on top of the fact that I'm wearing ultimate armor, so
So it's like
One
like
point of damage.
It's like ping damage to you.
yep.
Yep.
No,
And believe
it's
me,
amazing.
gate goes down a lot faster in Rookie Hunter mode.
Yeah. We'll show that off when we get to Zero. We're showing off Rookie Hunter mode on that fight in particular.
Yeah, because there's something special with his fights.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. But yep, there you go.
That's it.
That's Rookie Hunter mode and the Ultimate Armor.
So, next time we come back...
You don't want to play with me?
No.
No. So, that's everything that we can show off for X for right
That's
now.
probably not the worst part about this game.
So,
Well, there is one. Well, I was gonna say we could do the other file first, like off screen, and just get up to that point where we would have to get Zero back anyway, because you technically don't start with him.
That is true. Yes. You can enter the armor code, he won't notice anything until you get Zero back and actually use him in a level.
yeah, but... Do we really want to do that now? I kind of just want to save that for next time.
We'll save that for next time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
next time we come back to Mega Man X6, we're doing the Zero playthrough.
Yeah.
See you guys then.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.